Hello everybody, we got a heck of a hot rod here today. This one is a Maico square barrel 250. Now the engine on this machine is a 1969, but the frame isn't quite the standard X4 frame that they were coming with stock. This one's definitely a slightly newer frame. In fact, you can see across the whole bike there's a scatter of newer parts on it as well. Like the hub is in the back is the older one, but when you look at the front you can see that that's the newer style. Same thing, you can tell that like the carb's been changed out. What this bike really is it's going to be a nice Ahrma racer. I've got her partially there. I still got to come up with some shocks for the rear and still do a couple things. Missing the head stay right now, I have that off, and a couple bolts here and there, but it's getting there. I fired this machine up probably 6 months ago and it does run. It's actually one of the most aggressive 250 Maicos I've ever heard. It makes all of its power up on the top end. I took it for a little loop through the yard. Still got to get the rear brakes a little bit more worked out and a few things like that, but bike seems pretty vicious. This channel now is about 30 days in. Seems like people are really liking it. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos where we take these bikes and we fire them up and ride them around a little bit. Soon we'll be doing some more edits so that you can follow the bike around a whole track instead of just that one view from the tripod. But for now, we're just going to keep doing some of these and keep growing, and hope you guys enjoy growing with us here. All of the stuff is so pretty. So you do see that somebody did just spray the rim, spokes, and hub black. Most of the time that looks pretty terrible on a vintage bike. This bike seems to pull it off okay. You also see those really pretty fork lowers and brake stay. I've always thought the cylinders on these are so nice, these square barrels. Look at just how nice and sandcast they are. You'll see my one petcock from the other side lying in the top of the head. That was one of the issues with it. When I first fired this bike up, it was leaking just a tad, and I went to go tighten it up, and as soon as I did, the whole thing just kind of fell apart, broke in 2 or 3 pieces there, and I gave up. I got to order another petcock for it. At least that's not too big of a deal. You'll notice it's got the older style brake pedal on it instead of the newer aluminum style. It's got the smaller air box in comparison to the ones that went all the way down to the bottom where the frame meets. Bike's getting pretty darn close. It's got that nice aluminum brake stay in the rear. Might have to do something about the sheet metal cover over the rear brakes there. It grinds a little bit. As soon as they get dinged up a little bit, they just don't sit quite right anymore. It's a pretty common thing on them. Up here you've got all the nice billet aluminum triples, cool gas tank on it, with that Ahrma sticker on the front. Got a pretty sweet gripper seat on it right now. I'm not even sure where that came from. Really nice quality though. But since this machine wasn't a matching numbers bike, I was able to have some fun with it. And for this machine, I really kind of took the 1972 season Maicos from like Aki Janssen and those guys and used that as kind of what I wanted this bike to be like. Since it's still got the cool oval casing bottom. All my other Maicos, they've moved on to that new generation bottom end. This is my only oval casing one. Cool square barrel top end, oval casing bottom end. Some of the square barrels later on had that new bottom end too. Maico just did so many evolutions over the years that they were always updating and always changing. Always wanted just to give all their customers the best product they absolutely could. Most of these machines are pretty torquey, make good mid-range power and everything. They're one of the best handling bikes coming out of the 60s into the early 70s. This one, though, I think is going to have a completely different power band than stock. The little bit that I did ride this bike, like I said, I did about 1 or 2 laps through my yard, and it was leaking gas really bad out of that left side petcock. And it seems like this bike's power is really high up. This bike revs extraordinarily high, which is kind of unique for most Maicos. The pipe's a little smashed up, but at some point here I'll get it real hot and blow those dents out. Not too big of a deal. Since this bike's got the smaller clutch in it, it does have a very, very firm clutch pull. Well, guys, if you're enjoying this content, please subscribe. The little page could really use it, and that'll help us continue to make content for you guys in the future. Like I said, we've got a little track that's getting dialed in, and we'll be able to do some different camera angles to follow these bikes around that track. And this one here is not too far from being able to do that with. She's runs and rides for the most part, just got to tighten a couple things up. See my front fender, it was sitting in the garage leaning up against something. It's got a little bend. I'm hoping it gets hot here in the sunshine today and bends back to where it's supposed to be. Didn't notice it was leaning over. Well, let me know what you guys think of this sweet Maico in the comments, everybody. I sure enjoy it, being the orange one. If you've seen the other videos, you know we've got a red 400 and from 72 and a yellow one from 73. They sure look mighty fine together. You'll see some content too in the future of them at the Ahrma races all together. Well, everybody, thank you for your little trip here to the Moto Mill.